Hi, my name is Valeria Nieves, and in this video I will apply the systems thinking to the process of making espresso with a moka pot. Ever since 1933, people have been utilizing moka pots to make strong, high-quality espresso. A moka pot is a physical, non-living, and man-made system that looks like this. It is an open system, given that it has inputs and outputs. The following is the system boundary diagram of the moka pot espresso making process. The inputs from the environment are the user, who then puts water, the coffee, and then places the pot on the heat. The system boundaries are any of the surroundings. So for example, it could be a kitchen, or let's say you're making it in your room, so it could be your room. The following is a systemogram of the moka pot system. The moka pot functions through percolation, in which it is placed on a stovetop and then heated until water compartment pressure increases and causes the water to rise through the funnel into the coffee grains. It then passes through the filter into the top chamber, producing affordable espresso at home. It revolutionized the coffee obtaining process by allowing consumers of all classes to obtain high-quality coffee by reducing and minimizing their time and money to get and to make affordable espresso at home. I will now be analyzing the spatial arrangement of the moka pot. The moka pot system is part of a larger meta system, which is the surroundings, with that being a kitchen, a living room, a dorm, or basically anywhere where there is a hot plate for it to function. This stove would be an example of a lateral system. Its subsystems would be the boiler and the filter, and then these subsystems are composed of different elements that work to produce the wonderful espresso this marvelous system makes. Essentially, our elements are the filter plate, the central column, the steam release, the gasket, the handle, the top chamber, and the bottom chamber. I will now talk about the moka pot's development life cycle. Number 1. Establish a system need. Ever since the discovery of the coffee to the early 1900s, coffee was generally consumed publicly in coffee houses that dominated the trade in all aspects. Men used coffee bars as their bars away from home, whereas women who consumed coffee were associated with emancipation. It was mostly available to only first and second class citizens, and a luxurious but limited good. Inventors thus wanted to create better and more powerful coffee machines that would provide the good for the public sphere. Decades later, the Italian marker of the Futurist movement, Filippo Tommaso Marietti, gave birth, through his idea of the hyperactive man, through caffeine content, to the emergence of the term we know today as cafe espresso, the strong and powerfully intense coffee. As a result, the 19th century, and a number of attempts to brew coffee with steam, the main goal, to brew a strong coffee very quickly. Number 2, develop the system concept. In 1901, Luigi Becerra filed his first patent for a large espresso machine. This was dazzling, loud, and shining, with cool brass fittings, and had to be manned by a professional barista. Coffee progressively entered homes, prepared by either a Napolitana, which is a reversible pot that would make coffee, or a Milanese, which is water boiled through the ground coffee, then held in a strainer near the pot top. In the 1930s, Alfonso Bialetti got inspired by how local housewives would boil their linens in tubs built around a central conduct that draws the boiling soapy water upwards and redistributes across the linens through a radial opening. Thus, he combined this process into the process of making coffee, but he did it in such a way that it would be available as a domestic, light, affordable appliance. Number 3. Design and develop the system. Bialetti's first design was elegant and simple. It was modeled after the Napolitana, but made up entirely of aluminum. It had 3 main parts. The lower portion of the device would serve as a boiler, sealed off from the upper portion so that when heated, The pressure would force hot water up through the conduit and basket, packed with ground coffee that, when sufficiently pressured, would surge up into the upper chamber and fill the pot. Some risks were achieving the proper flow of coffee through apparatus, the boiler cracking or blowing up under pressure. Another risk was using the right materials. The machine had to be not only good, but cost effective. Stakeholders, the user, and Bialetti. Number 4. Produce a system. His first design in 1933 was very different from the later products. The original boiler was convex, and the lateral handle and lid were made up of wood. Second design in 1950 included a plastic or vulcanized rubber handle in hexagonal shape. It wasn't until 1960 that Bialetti developed the octagonal aluminum masterpiece we have today. Number 5. Deploy a system. A risk of utilizing aluminum was relatively high cost in aluminum in Italy during the 1950s. In addition, Bialetti started producing the mocha pot, eventually giving the name of Mocha Express, and selling it himself. 70,000 units were produced between 1934 and 1940. After Bialetti's son, Rinaldo, took over the process, Mocha Express pots were produced in a full range of sizes from 2 cups to 10 and up to 1,000 units per day. Number 6. Operate the system. Through advertising and an expansion of the Bialetti production, mocha pots were now being made at a rate of 18,000 per day and a rate of 4 million per year. It was a successful system, given that people now were able to make their own coffee at home with the same quality of one made at a fancy coffee shop. And it was through reviews that the system process was monitored. People were thrilled with the new, inexpensive mocha pot. They had a do-it-yourself attitude, and this helped ease the gender rules that once existed with regards to coffee. Thanks to the organic simplicity of the Mocha Express, Dad could be trusted in the kitchen, and Mom was free to hit the slopes. Number 7. Deploy the system. The Mocha Express is currently still found in 9 out of 10 homes in Italy. The product has emerged to a point where thousands of imitations exist and are still being used by those that appreciate strong, affordable stovetop coffee. And if one buys one and doesn't like it, it is as easy as just throwing it away and finding a different method of making coffee. As you can see, I'm using a stovetop to make my coffee with the mocha pot. An ethical consideration could be where the mocha pot is heated up. Boiling water on a gas stove has a lower carbon footprint than on an electrical stove, so one must consider the means used to make the coffee. As already stated, the mocha pot is very successful. It has been around since 1933, and last year, 2005, it had a revenue of 172.59 million and then 58 million gross profit. Each year, it makes significant profit and provides those unable to or uninterested in attending a coffee shop the means of preparing affordable,